Today is the first day of trading for the Bitcoin spot ETFs, and it's one of the most historic days in crypto probably. Yesterday, all 11 Bitcoin ETFs were approved by the SEC, but that's not exactly what I want to talk about in this video. More importantly, I want to speculate on what is going to happen with the Ethereum ETFs now that we have a Bitcoin ETF. And in fact, I've been seeing things that say that Ethereum ETFs can be here as early as May of this year. Ever since I got into crypto a couple years ago, I've seen speculation about what ETFs are going to do for crypto, what they're going to do for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and more importantly, also what they're going to do for altcoins. This is going to bring institutions in, it's going to bring 401ks in, it's going to bring your mom, your dad, your grandma. All are going to have the ability to invest into Bitcoin and Ethereum without necessarily self-custodying their funds. Also, institutional and regulatory investors have backing rights of the government with kind of regulation to ensure this is a safer investment. Still one of the riskiest ETFs out there, but safer in the term of Bitcoin ETFs versus pure standard Bitcoin or even pure altcoin. Now, this didn't go off without a hitch. We had the Bitcoin ETF go off with kind of an odd fashion. A lot of volatility over the weekend and a lot of volatility earlier in the week as the SEC Twitter account was hacked, kind of ruining the surprise, but also it was fake, but then the next day it really happened. So in spite of all this drama and uncertainty and hacks and kind of nuanced drama, the SEC still decided to approve the Bitcoin ETFs, which I think is a factor and a really confident boosting to crypto investors that the SEC recognizes Americans or people all over the world want to invest in these assets, and they're going to do it whether there's regulation or not. Not only is this a great move for business and people in America and worldwide, but it is also a great move for regulation because governments can actually, have a framework, and we can all have a framework to understand what is happening in the crypto markets, what can and cannot happen. It's the first of many steps in regulation that I think will be pro-crypto. The Bitcoin ETF is not the only thing to pay attention to. With only a few days of trading, it's already getting $1 to $3 billion of trading volume today, and I just cannot even stress what that's going to do to the potential future price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other ETFs that the crypto markets get. If we think that 40K is a crazy price for Bitcoin, or everyone's calling for 100K Bitcoin, imagine when every single institution or every single 401k has 1% of Bitcoin or something like that, what that's going to do to the Bitcoin price. One of the biggest unspoken things though that's happening from this Bitcoin ETF is the future potential for an Ethereum ETF. Now, Ethereum has been understood as a security by some, a commodity by others, really a security kind of by the government and a commodity by the investors. But with the Bitcoin ETF and the upcoming Ethereum ETFs, this kind of pushes ETH into that commodity basket. We already have a futures ETF for Ethereum, and because there's already a futures ETF, many analysts are speculating that this means Ethereum will be considered a commodity, especially getting its own spot Ethereum ETF coming in May. If you just want to get a little bit of the action I'm talking about, go on to Google, type in crypto news, and you'll be inundated with articles from all day today, all day yesterday of what's happening in the markets based on Ethereum, based on the Bitcoin ETF, and what this could mean for the Bitcoin ETF and for the Ethereum ETF. Already we can see the Ethereum price going up, and many people are going to start speculating on this Ethereum ETF like they did with the Bitcoin ETF all of 2023. Bitcoin 130% or 160% gain over 2023. Right now we're getting back into that 50K territory. Ethereum's already at $2,400 right now in USD terms. And I cannot even stress what that's going to do to the Ethereum price over the next couple months if we really think an Ethereum spot ETF is coming to the market by May. Lastly, if you're watching the Bitcoin ETF and the possible Ethereum ETF come through, this raises questions in my head of, what about all the other altcoins? Does every altcoin get an ETF? Specifically, all the altcoins that something like a Grayscale owns, right? We know Grayscale has a lot of Cardano, it has Polkadot, it has AVAX, it has all the other top 10, 20 L1s. Does this mean every top 10, 20 L1 or 10, 20 crypto in the current, crypto total rankings, are they all going to get an ETF? That doesn't even seem feasible in my opinion. This could mean that maybe we get, I've seen people speculate on a Cardano ETF, an ADA ETF, but I just don't really see how there might be that need for us to have, a Solana ETF, an ADA ETF, an Ethereum ETF, an AVAX ETF. this makes me wonder, are we going to get like a total crypto ETF or like a top crypto 10 ETF or a top crypto 100 ETF, much like the S&P 500, the Russell 100, or the NASDAQ, all these different ETFs that we have kind of standardized? Will we have a crypto version of this come out? While Bitcoin is currently leading the market, having the first crypto ETF and doing probably $2 to $3 billion in trading volume just today alone, Bitcoin's up, Ethereum's up, Cardano's up, my whole portfolio is up today. This is going to be a catalyst for things like Ethereum to get an ETF, be labeled as a commodity, and be kind of more regulated in terms for more people to invest in it, which ultimately makes the asset, especially with deflationary Ethereum, makes the asset more valuable. From there, now we have more opportunities for more blue chip cryptos. Once more cryptos get into that Bitcoin ETH blue chip category, does this mean that they also become ETF applicable? Would something like a Cardano be ETF applicable right now? I probably think so. My question is, are there enough institutional investors for something like a Cardano ETF? We know there's not, in my personal opinion, I assume that there's not a crazy amount of Bitcoin ETF pressure out there just because a lot of people are speculative. I think we're seeing a large influx right now, but over time it will probably fade down, and then as the bull market continues to raise up again, I just don't know if there's going to be a whole lot for like a Cardano ETF right now. Regardless of what happens, I've seen a lot that the Ethereum ETF is going to be out around May, and at this point in my crypto journey, I've learned probably one of the smartest things you can do is not fight the market, okay? When people are saying that these are going to happen, and not in like the your grandma's buying Bitcoin way, but like in the people who are in crypto are saying it's going to happen, I tend to just let these markets ride and don't have an opinion myself. I just follow the trend. So I would assume that's probably going to happen like that. It's kind of how the Bitcoin ETF rolled out. People thought it were going to come out this week, and it did, right? So look for the Ethereum ETF in May, maybe June, but before the summer. And then probably, in my opinion, I would assume after that, people are going to be speculating on other ETFs, but I'd be curious just to look out and see if we're going to get things like a Cardano ETF, which I don't think interest would be super high for immediately right now, but maybe we get like a total crypto ETF for like the top 20 layer ones or something. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, since we have things like Grayscale and ARK Invest obviously paying attention to the crypto market and buying things other than just Bitcoin and Ethereum.